Hello everyone, you're welcome to my channel. So today let's quickly look at the topic on the board, change of subject formula. So we'll look at three keywords from this topic. So let's start with the formula, then subject and change. So we are going to start with the formula. Now, when you hear formula, you look at it as an equation in mathematics. The formula can also be an equation. Let's take, for instance, if we have, let's assume KE is equal to half mv squared. Now, this is a formula, so it can also be called an equation. Okay, now you will notice that the KE is isolated, is standing alone, while the half mv square are all standing together. Now this now becomes the subject. It's more like the ones here are discussing this, so this becomes the subject. Now the last word that we'll now look at is the change. As you already know, change is all about replacement. Now we can decide to make any of these other variables the subject. Let's take, for instance, let's make m the subject formula. Now we are having KE is equal to half mv squared. Now in making subject formula, there are some things that you need to take note of. We want to make m the subject, then you look at the environment where that m is, the other variables standing with m. If they are multiplying m, what you simply do to eliminate them is to divide both sides of your equation by those variables standing with m. But when you are having m standing with other number and what is connecting them is either plus or minus, then if it is plus, you will subtract that other variable from both sides. If it is minus, you will add that other variable to both sides. But this time around, we are having half and we are having v squared standing with m, and what is joining them together is multiplication, meaning we are going to divide. But before we even divide, this can also be written as KE is equal to mv squared over 2. Then what we'll do next is to cross multiply. We cross multiply so that the 2 will multiply KE. Then you have 2KE is equal to 1 multiply mv squared. Then you have mv squared. And mind you, we want to make m the subject formula, but since the v standing with the m is having multiplication between them, that the sign you are having between the m and v is multiplication, therefore we are going to divide both sides. To make the m stand alone, we are going to divide both sides by the v square, and that becomes over v square over v square, so that the v square here cancel out the v square here. Then we'll be left with 2ke over v square is equal to m. Therefore m is equal to 2ke over v square. Now we have made m the subject formula. So this is just a simple question from change of subject formula. Now let's look into another question. We have Sn is equal to n over 2 in open brackets 2a plus open bracket n minus 1 close bracket b close bracket. Now the question says make d, that's from this equation we are going to make d the subject formula, and hence find the value of d if S32 is equal to 56 and a is equal to 25. Now the formula you have here is from AP. We use this formula when you are finding sum of terms of an AP, where the Sn stands for sum of term, your n is the number of term, your a is your first term, and your d is your common difference. So for us to do this, we are having two questions here. The first question says we should make d the subject formula. So let's quickly make d the subject formula from that equation. Solution, let's bring down the question. Sn is equal to n over 2 in bracket 2a plus open bracket n minus 1 close bracket d close bracket. Now you will notice that you are having two brackets in this particular equation. That's the n minus 1 is in bracket, and also you are having 2a plus n minus 1 d also in bracket. Now when you have bracket in bracket like this, you will start simplifying from the inner bracket, and by doing so we are going to have Sn is equal to n over 2 in bracket 2a. Now let's simplify this first bracket using this d. We are going to use the d here to multiply the bracket. That's plus d times n. You have dn, or you can call it nd. Then minus d times 1, you have d close bracket. Now that we have finished simplifying the inner bracket, we are going to use the n over 2 outside this bracket to simplify the second bracket, and that will give us Sn is equal to n over 2 times 2a. Now the 2 here, cancel out this 2 here, then you have an, then n over 2 times dn, then you have plus dn square over 2, then n over 2 times minus d, then you have minus dn over 2. Now we have finished simplifying the brackets. There's no bracket again, so the next thing we'll do is to take the an to the left hand side and leave everything related to d. Since we want to make d the subject formula, we'll take the an to the left hand side, and that gives us Sn. When this comes here, it becomes minus an is equal to dn square over 2 minus dn over 2. So we are going to find the LCM of the right hand side to make it a linear equation. Then that becomes Sn minus an is equal to 2 as the LCM. Then we'll have dn squared minus dn. So let's continue from the other side of the board. Sum of term minus an is equal to dn square minus dn over 2. So at this point, this is the same thing as over 1. We are going to cross multiply, and that will become 2Sn minus 2an is equal to dn squared minus dn. So we are going to factorize both sides of the equation. Now in the left hand side, what we have common is 2. We are having 2 here and also 2 at the other side. So factorizing out the 2, bringing out the 2, we'll have 2 in brackets, sum of term minus an close bracket is equal to, now from the right hand side, since we are finding d, we'll factorize the d, we'll bring out the d, and we'll have d in bracket n square minus n, we'll close bracket. So at this point, we are going to divide both sides by n squared minus n squared minus n, so that this strike out this, then we'll have 2 in brackets Sn minus An close bracket over n squared minus n is equal to d. Therefore, our d is equal to 2 in brackets Sn minus An close bracket over n squared minus n. We have finished making d the subject formula. But that's not all. The question went further and said we should find the value of d if S32 is equal to 56, that's the sum of the first 32 term, is equal to 56, and our first term is 25. So what we will simply do is to substitute all of this value into the equation to get our final answer, and that becomes d is equal to 2 in bracket. Now the sum of the first 32 term is given to us as 56, so here becomes 56 minus a. We have a, which is the first term, as 25 times the n is 32. We have n as 32. Okay, everything over 32 squared minus 32. Two in bracket 56 minus 25 times 32. Let's use calculator to simplify that. 25 minus 25 times 32, that's minus 800 over 32 square is 1024 minus 32. So let's convert. That gives us 744. That's 2 in bracket minus 744 close bracket, then 1024 minus 32. And that will be 992. Now 2 times minus 744. That will be 1 minus 1488 over 992. And we'll divide our answer by 992, and that will give us minus 1.5 as the value of d. Therefore, our d is equal to minus 1.5. That's the final answer. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you subscribe, like. Thank you very much.